And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of This Week in Real Estate, hosted by the Bearded Man of Real Estate. I'm Ray. Say hi, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
And that's Dan. He's wearing our club shirt.
Yeah, and I'm also wearing.
And he's wearing a medal.
Yeah.
What?
Because guess what? Our team took third in the PGF National Championships.
What?
So yeah, and we got a plaque and
go.
stuff, but the head of the organization is keeping that, obviously. But I'm gonna wear this thing until it falls off. But like, it's a huge deal. Our girls played absolutely out of their minds all week. We went
Softball
9-2 in the tournament, and not to brag, but my daughter kind of went off and hit almost 500 in 10 games, 11 games.
Wow.
Hit almost 500. Second on the team in hits, most RBIs, most runs scored, and had 20 strikeouts in 23 innings. So I'm just saying she's pretty good. Yeah.
Way to go. Well, congrats. Thanks for joining us, everybody. This is the This Week in Softball show. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Softball Dad's Chalk.
I actually have that podcast. It just
yeah. This week, how short are your shorts? I kind of want, you could do like a Joe Rogan Asks softball show. I think you should do that. Now, welcome everybody. We're broadcasting in 3 locations right now. We are live in Clubhouse. We're also on YouTube and Facebook. If you want to add to the show and make comments, you can do that on YouTube. And then we can display your comment and talk about you or your comment, just like Olivier did. He said, I'm ready. Where's Matt? So he was actually first this time. Olivier was first in the chat. Way to go. He recognized the Groundhog Day.
Matt, 10 minutes later, first.
Yeah, Matt's a little late. Maybe he's at a slow. Are you out of town, Matt? Do you have a slow reception? So that's what's happening. Dusty Martin's also joining us.
Isn't all of Atlanta or Georgia like that? They don't have good, much good schoolings or
takes
or
longer.
Or anything, right?
Takes longer for the internet to get there. Yeah, you hear him. Yeah. What?
That's so good.
Hey, Matt, I heard you have
I can hear you.
Yeah, Julia means in there too. Matt, I heard you had a special day recently.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
Well, happy birthday, Matt. We were just talking about how old you were, and we can't tell.
Dude, you're either 29 or 49.
Which one is it?
Like that, yeah. Big 4-0.
Wow, the big 4-0. Well,
dang.
Way to go. Here's another one for you. I mean, just to round out the classic songs that radio stations play for happy birthdays. There you go. So happy birthday, Matt. Thanks for joining us on your 2 day after your birthday.
Yeah, happy belated birthday.
Belated. Oh, what happened there? Sorry. I may have lost somebody. All right. We also have Dave. He's joining us on Facebook. Hey, Dave.
Good luck.
You can also, so I'm testing LinkedIn. I think we're live right now on LinkedIn for the first time ever.
I think.
Okay.
I don't know.
So if you're on LinkedIn, can you please comment so I can even see if I can display your comment? I don't know if I can or not. So here's the deal. Years ago, LinkedIn said, hey guys, you can go live on LinkedIn. And so I tried to go live on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn said, no, you can't do it. Like, why? Apparently there was some kind of approval process and all this other stuff.
For LinkedIn.
Now it looks like I can go live on LinkedIn. So this is the first time ever, show 198, that we are being carried live on 4 different platforms: Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Clubhouse. And we might be.
I'm just going to say it. We're the only anything to do that. Not podcast. We're the only anything to do that.
That's right. I think so. Oh, look at that. Patrick Carr. He says, what's up, Ray?
Dude,
you the man.
Oh, look.
It's got the little invite. Howard's on there. What's up, Howard? Wow. So he can display LinkedIn comments too. He says
There we
Howard
go.
does give us a little bit of information. He says slight delay compared to Facebook, but that's okay. This is crazy.
It also
4
might be
different locations.
He's 8,000 miles away. It might be.
Well, no, I think he's saying by comparison. He's got like everything up. YouTube, Facebook, and all the things.
all 4 locations. I love it.
That's right. Well, thanks y'all for joining us from LinkedIn too. Welcome to the show.
Ew.
This is a real estate show. We have a ton to talk about. The rundown, as always, kind of starts small and then it just keeps expanding and expanding. This week, we're going to be talking about Zillow opening the door to iBuying again. We have a very special article from, I think, a very special contributor, and we'll dive into that. We've got the Ribbon, which recently opened up its operations in Arkansas. I was invited to a Ribbon party, and it looks like they're laying off 136 employees. So we'll talk about the power buying trend and the difference in that.
You're gonna have to explain what they are, because I've never heard of Ribbon. I mean, we may have hit them on the show, but I don't know what they are or what they do.
We're also going to be talking about mortgage rates. They've dipped below 5%. So we're seeing some activity happen in the refi for the first time in a while. Growing share of home listings are stale as market cools. So if you're around the country, you're in the real estate profession, or you're a real estate agent and you're looking at listings on the market right now, I want to know how many of you are starting to get listings over 30 days. There was a pretty good article about that. We're going to look at 2 different sources. Let's see, Redfin. It looks like they're going to eliminate the commission refund. So the rebate. And we have an article on that. Consumer confidence, what's happening there? Are they losing trust in their housing? More people than ever are asking Google, will the market crash? So we'll talk about that. We have a couple of articles that are like, what crash? So we'll go into that too. And then finally, Zillow. So we start with Zillow and end with Zillow. Finally, Zillow launches Zillow Surfing 2.0 nationwide to automate floor plans. Now, the interesting thing about floor plans is that we had an article not too long ago that talked about floor plans being copywritten.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Of the actual designer, or no, the architect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would creating a floor plan of your current house violate that copyright?
Yeah. I mean, and then who gets the copyright? If I created it, but I'm an architect working under a firm, is it like my listings are under my brokerage's name? Is it that they copyright it, or is it me? Do I have to give permission because I'm the architect who drew it up?
If you're the architect and you sell it to someone, does that person, they own the house, but they also own the plans?
Right.
I don't think so.
They should own the plans.
I don't think that works that way though.
Oh.
So yeah. What is Matt talking? He said
Matt's having his own conversation.
Vacuum everywhere. I don't even know.
No, go back up one. iRobot bought Zillow.
Oh, iRobot bought Zillow.
Yeah.
Is that way for you to say Zillow sucks? Get it? Because vacuums. Haha. Sorry, just it was a bad joke. But hang on. Yeah, don't leave. I got it.
Sorry, he's got himself covered.
All right, so we got a lot to talk about today. If you're following us in Clubhouse, go to the little green house. Be sure you click that, follow the club. That way you can be informed of when other great rooms open up, just like yesterday, Practical and Tactical with Justin Conoco. Justin, do you know what you're doing next week already for Practical and Tactical?
Yeah, I do. So we're going through the Gary Keller book Shift. So the syllabus for that book club is about 9 sections. So we did the first 3 yesterday, the next 3 next week, and the last 3 the week after.
Yeah. If you guys like speed reading, I mean, it's like, it's intense, but it's really good. I was able to listen to it yesterday while trimming up the old beard.
Oh, so it's like camping.
What?
It's intense.
Oh my gosh. Hang on. That's bad.
Do you know,
we're just full of it today.
Do you know where I keep all my witty quips? In my database.
Oh my gosh. I'm running out of fails. Okay. All right. So yeah. So anyway, join Justin on Tuesdays at the same time this show airs, but just on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. That's on Practical and Tactical. He'll be going through the last 3 sections of the shift, which has been really good because they're talking about something this week that we had actually started doing like 6 weeks ago without even thinking about it. It was just something that we looked like we needed to do. So very good room there. You can also follow us on YouTube. Please subscribe and hit the bell to be alerted of when we go live there. And Facebook, same thing. You can actually subscribe to our Facebook or follow. Isn't it follow the Facebook page?
Like, I don't know, but don't.
You probably won't be notified on Facebook anymore. Now,
Right.
Facebook's getting better. We're going to start throwing some shorts out there and some stuff like that on Facebook as well, because from everything I'm hearing, it's getting better. But the reach of shows like ours is only enabled for people like you who are watching it. They're like, oh, this is interesting, I should share it. That's how this thing spreads. Even if you follow our page, you may not be notified of when we go live unless you hit the special bell notification on Facebook as well. So if you want to be like, oh, I want to be on this show, I want to comment on these topics, then be sure you're hitting the things that notify you of when we go live, because I know you get busy in life and you're like, oh crap, that show was today, an hour ago. Yeah, probably. We might still be broadcasting. All right, Dan, before we get into these articles and details, would you tell people what this show is all about?
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, I created a nice, easy word for you guys. So you don't have to say, yeah, absolutely anymore. You just say, yeah, absolutely. And you can type it. Your phone will remember it. Yeah, absolutely.
I like it.
It's one word. Anyway, when I met Ray here on the interwebs, he about 5 years ago, he couldn't speak French and still can't. Sorry, that's for Olivier. Je m'appelle Jean-Pierre. But when I met Ray, like I said here on the internet, about 5 years ago, I think it's maybe longer, I don't know. But I noticed something very interesting about him.
What was that, Daniel?
He's never made a birthday cake for a realtor, not once.
That may be accurate, unless you count myself. Unless you count myself.
I guess
it took me a minute to think about that one, but yeah, pretty much. I mean, it is cake season in our house, so get ready. If you're into cakes, I make cakes because my mama taught me years and years ago.
Legit cakes, not just like a, with the frosting. He makes some legit cakes. I don't know if he's good enough yet to make like a toilet that looks like a cake. He's not there yet. But
I'm getting close. So I'm making a swimming pool this weekend, swimming pool cake, and it is stretching my creativity. If it looks like I have in my brain, it's going to be really rad. So stay tuned. It's on the Instagram, which is right there. Ray Zorback, RAYZORBACK. I always post it on my stories. It is cake season 2022. Here we go. We got all the birthdays coming up, so that's fine. Hey, anyway,
what have we changed the name on? We have a Clubhouse comment. What's the name of the page on Facebook? We're still Be More?
I think we actually changed it finally. So look up This Week in Real Estate, hosted by the Bearded Man of Real Estate.
Yeah, there you go.
Here, we made it nice and short for you.
We made it nice and easy for you.
Yeah. And maybe one of the mods could post. Maybe one of the mods could post the Facebook page as a link. That would be super helpful for people.
But no, I noticed I've seen many a Ray cake. They're called Ray cakes. But I obviously noticed he's a beautifully bearded man, but I also noticed he loves giving. Yeah, this weekend cakes. He loves giving value up front to not only his clients, but just to humans in general. So the show is about being more as an agent, but also being more as a human.
And honestly, one of the ways we think that you as agents and we as agents should be more is to know what in the world is going on. So that's why we do this show, to hopefully give you one place where you can drop by for about an hour, hour and a half, and be informed of everything that's happening in the real estate market so that you can better consult with your clients and help them make better financial decisions, given sometimes their largest financial commitment of their entire life.
Yeah.
And they're trusting you when they say, how's the market right now? Dun, dun, dun.
I only know because I watched This Week in Real Estate with Ray and Dan.
That's right. And Melissa, you said a beach cake. I made a sandcastle cake one time, and it looked like a sandcastle. There were two little sandcastles side by side. I'll repost it. I'll repost some cakes on my Instagram to get everybody ready for cake season 2022.
I didn't even know there was a season for cakes.
I mean, it is because like nothing happens. My birthday is the only birthday in, oh my gosh, April. and then everyone else's birthday is in the fall in our house. So it's just like cake after
Those are the
cake
best.
after cake.
Mine's in October. This is the best time to have a birthday.
Yeah. So I'll try to find it for you and post it on there, Melissa. All right, Dan, you ready to get in these articles?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, wait.
Hey.
Dude, that was quick.
Right as we started the show, his camera goes out. We see the colored bars. So you got to get that. You got to get that looked at.
I know, but I also don't care. It's just a part of the show now. It's just happening. It is what it is. It's a quirky little thing Dan does because he's a quirky guy. All right. Anyway. Yeah. Hey, I don't get. Hey, you're that guy from that real estate show that knows his stuff and really knows the market. You're that guy that's on the show that you have to reset your camera every half hour, right? Yeah. I'm that guy.
That's how it really happens.
I'm that guy. Yeah. I'm famous for that.
This week in camera resets.
So many new show ideas, dude.
New show ideas coming from that.
This week in camera resets. This week in softball dad talk.
All right, well, let's talk about Zillow. I thought about doing getting some audio made from someone at Fiverr. We don't talk about Zillow, but I didn't, so I won't. All right, so Zillow's back at it though. iBuying again. This article comes to us from an interesting place. Y'all see the thing up in the top right there?
Yeah.
Broke Agent Media. That's kind of cool.
Wait, what? Wait. Show that again.
What? Broke Agent Media right there. Yep.
Yeah, I see that. But then Zillow opens the door to iBuying, again.
Again. Good.
Posted
grief.
by who?
Ray Ellen. Look at that. Contributor.
Weird.
Yeah. So we're so I'm contributing a couple of articles here and there for the Broke Agent Media. They're going to mostly be the newsy articles that we talk about here on the show. But this one, I think we were like the second to talk about this. I mean, it was released really, really quickly because we had the article done very fast. There's another one coming out today about Consumer Confidence Index, where we just got the report and wrote about the report. Can't reference it on today's show. I don't think it's out yet, but that'll be out later. So yeah, there you go. Broke Agent Media. So Zillow opens the door to iBuying again. I wanted to use the iBuying, but the editors wouldn't get it. So after a year of falling stocks, and just days after the FTC announced the 62 million, it's kind of weird reading your own words. Wait, hang on.
Do you want me to read it?
No, it's just weird because like I sit so long with this article, and like even though I wrote it really quickly, I reread it. Right. And this is the first time on the show where I'm reading something that I wrote in an article.
Yeah.
And that's really strange because the intonation and everything is just in my brain. Like I know exactly what this is supposed to sound like. All right. Sorry.
Yeah. Usually you're reading someone else's words, trying to get their personality. This is your personality.
Yeah, that's really strange. Okay, coming back to it. Sorry, guys. After years of falling stocks in just days, and I misread my own words. After years of falling stocks in just days after the FTC announced the $62 million settlement for allegedly deceiving customers, Opendoor announced a new partnership with its former competitor, Zillow.
Ooh.
According to a joint company statement, Zillow consumers can now get an instant cash offer for their home, an offer fulfilled by Opendoor. If the customer accepts the cash offer, Zillow receives a referral fee. I thought that was a funny, like, of course they're not doing it for the referral fee, but that was a funny little. All right, so this is going to be a deep integration, is what they say on a call with the analyst Thursday. Zillow CEO Rich Barton reportedly said this isn't just a lead distribution deal. It's going to be a deep integration. Let's see, skipping down. This is what Jeremy Waxman said in the statement. Consumers will be able to evaluate their selling options, which includes selling on the open market with the Zillow Premier Agent. It's unclear how the open market option will be presented to customers. So the question is, and the question I had that I couldn't find the answer to, is it going to say, hey, if you were to sell in the open market, this is what you would get, judging by our Zestimate?
Yeah, what's it based on? The Zestimate or like an actual appraisal, or at least a market value, a market evaluation?
Yeah. Isn't that weird? Like that could make a big difference if somebody uses the iBuying or not. Anyway.
Yeah. And then is it going to be, I mean, before it was like, oh, cool. You look on Zillow, my house is worth this. Cool. I want to get an offer from Zillow. And then you go and they're like, well, we've actually run real numbers now and it's another 22 grand less. Is it going to be that kind of thing? Or, what's really going on?
That's what some were saying they were doing with their iBuying. Allegedly. So Zillow's goal is not merely to earn a referral fee from Opendoor, but to provide the consumer with additional services like mortgages, closing services, connection with their premier agents. I thought this was interesting too. In a statement from Opendoor about the partnership, the company is wisely no longer claiming that the consumer will save any money. Instead, it states that consumers will, quote, save themselves the stress and uncertainty of a traditional sale process.
They just do anything they can, right? Anything they can to make it seem like a traditional sale process is the worst way to go, and you need to click a button. If you guys want instant offers, by the way, this is my Instagram handle, but it's also my Gmail handle. So just all you have to do is send an email to me, say, hey, I want to list my house today, and I'll be right there. It's that instantly quick, that easy. I'll be there literally instantly. That easy.
Yeah, you could also just send me an offer on a house. All right, so here's the earnings numbers for Zillow and Opendoor. I thought this was interesting as well. Opendoor announced its second quarter numbers on August 4th, 2022, showing revenue of 254%. Wow, huge growth. The gross profit was up 486 million. Wow, goodness, that's some big numbers. And a net loss of 54 million.
It's always the last thing in there. There's always positives. And then what was the other number they were talking about?
It was improved from their net loss of 144 million a year ago.
Right. So it's 90 million less, but it's still
90 million less of a loss.
Right.
Correct.
We lost less money. We lost money at a slower pace this year.
Right. So and this is my question. Like, they're partnering with Zillow, which is going to help them get more offers faster, right? It's going to help them get more. There's going to be more coming through as far as leads go for them in order to give people offers on their home. If they're losing money with every transaction, won't that just encourage them to lose money faster? Won't they just be losing more money at a faster pace?
There's a couple comments in Clubhouse, and Dave Kristenholtz, hopefully I'm saying that right, but he says you will not pay as much as Opendoor. They have been overpaying in Phoenix, which Dusty Martin, she's in Scottsdale. She said the same exact thing. So they're failing less bad. There you go. She said it on YouTube, but
failing less bad.
If they're still overpaying for things, yes, they're getting the properties, but and this isn't just since the Rona. This was happening before the Rona, 2018 and 19. I remember them overpaying for a house, and then it would sit. And it's always the same thing: lower the price by 5 to 7% until they find the market. So, I don't get it. And then if this new branch of Zillow, I guess you could call it, is losing money, I don't understand any of this. I have nothing productive to say on it. I just don't get it. I just don't understand.
How can you lose money so fast and so much? Well, so back to let me show you how much Zillow's losing as well. Now, Zillow said they had an $8 million profit. And that's kind of all they said that morning. I didn't dive into the numbers at all. But interestingly, Mike Del Preet, he did a talk on this at Inman. And he said that where's the number? Opendoor's net losses in 2021 were 1.6 billion. Zillow offers net loss were 1.5 billion. So when their powers combine,
$3 billion.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a profitable process, but maybe they'll figure it out. Maybe they'll push through. And this is just the change in the partnership they needed. Zillow says it'll be able to put everything it learned through its iBuying program to work for this. Jeremy James says, buy high, sell less high.
Yeah.
And Matt LaMarche, he's requesting a birthday gift. And I think y'all should give it to him. This is good. He said, can someone send me an iPad so I control from LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook? Yeah, right now you can only do like 2 or 3 at once. So
Yeah. Which I think someone, it's happy birthday, and he gets to add to our view count on social media. So
Melissa Mars said, "Let's go Brooke together." Z and Opendoor.
Z odd.
Z odd. Ooh, what if they just combined instead of Opendoor, it was Z offers?
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about wait, hang on. Sorry.
Hold on. Wait. Yeah.
One moment.
Stretch.
Do we have some comments in there?
No. But
I thought you were saying we had a comment.
Yeah, dude. Zod, General Zod is from, General Zod, right? From Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. ZOD. There you go. They're doing it on purpose to form Zod, which is a supervillain. I mean,
I don't know. I kind of like Matt Lamarche's
Zopanillo.
It's good.
It sounds like a French snack, like a French bistro.
I thought it sounded like something that you have to ask your doctor. Ask your doctor about Zopanillo.
Side effects include paying too much money to sell your home.
Yeah. If you lost more than 15% on your transaction, it might be due to some side effects from Zopanillo.
There you go. We should do a commercial on it.
Yeah, we have the foreburned commercial. We have to do the Zopanillo.
Have you paid
commercial.
too much in real estate transaction fees? Have you gotten burned by iBuying? Well, you should try Zopanillo.
That's actually I think that's what caused it.
You have Zopanillo.
You have Zopanillo.
You've contracted Zopanillo, and you need to talk to it's a German virus.
Oh my God. All right, let's talk about power buying. Power buyer Ribbon lays off 136 employees. They were informed of the layoffs during an all-hands employee meeting on July 28th. Hopefully not a Zoom, right?
We know how that goes.
I don't know what better way there is in these situations, but the way Better did it, if you're on this call, you're fired. That's not a great way. What if someone said, "Oh, I didn't get the link to the meeting. Can you send that to me?" I've never thought about this before, but think about it.
Yeah, what about a corporate meeting?
Right? Their other colleagues are like, "Oh, I didn't get the link to today's meeting. Oh, you didn't hear about the meeting? There's a bunch of people meeting today. I didn't get the link. Can you send me the link?" It's like, if you got this link, you're fired. And they're like writing down everybody.
Or what if you're out because of the Rona or something, and you're like, "I'll just watch the replay. It's fine.
I'll just watch the replay." Oh, you didn't even attend the live meeting that fired you. Oh, golly. So anyway, I know it's terrible. Don't mean to joke about people getting fired, but still, there's a better way. Joking about the corporations doing it on Zoom.
The way he handled it. Because I do think Zoom is a fine way to do it, but how they handled it and the words they used was oof.
All right. So Ribbon employees were informed of the layoffs during an all-hands employee meeting on July 28th. An hour after the meeting, employees received an email informing them of their future with the firm. According to a prepared statement by CEO Cheval Shaw that read during the meeting. Oh, they're just reading it during the meeting. The layoffs came after the firm reduced, quote, unnecessary non-salary expenses.
So we're sorry to lay you off.
Guys, first, don't find your value in what you do, because as soon as you do, and someone says, we've cut unnecessary non-salary expenses, so you guys are, as a leadership team, we've tried to delay this decision for as long as possible, but we are not immune to what we've been seeing elsewhere in the market.
So we knew it was going to happen. We just didn't tell you.
So let's talk about what is a power buyer. Power buyer gives the ability for a buyer that's looking for financing, or maybe only has access to traditional financing. They basically enable that buyer to make a cash offer, right? So cash or non-contingent offer. So
now,
if someone has to sell their home first, they would partner with Ribbon, and Ribbon would say, okay, what we're going to do is give you the funds so that you can go make your cash offer, or they'll buy the house just straight up and then sell it back after everything's settled.
So HomeLight has a program like that. That's what HomeLight does.
Yeah, they would be a power buyer.
Okay, I thought it was when you buy 4 or 5, 6 properties at once or more. I thought that was power buying, like bigger chunks
It's
of
like
properties.
yeah, that's just one of those big investment hedge
REIT
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now you may be saying like, man, who's responsible for this? Glad you asked. As a leader, I take responsibility for this outcome. This is what he said. It's big.
Okay. I mean,
first, I don't excuse this market conditions alone. Hey, I like this already.
yeah.
Doing so would fail to honor those impacted and a missed opportunity of what we can learn from, Shaw wrote. The market conditions exposed areas that need improvement across our product and team to evolve with the changing consumer. I'm ultimately responsible to all those decisions and this decision as a result.
Wow.
Man, isn't that refreshing?
Yeah.
So it starts off like every other, oh crap, these people were laid off. The guy's going to be like, nothing we could do because the market. But no, the CEO was like, nah, it's not the market. We messed up. So it's good. The market conditions exposed areas. Oh, I've already read that. I'm ultimately responsible. Sorry. The next phase of Ribbon will be more agile. We needed to define the team and systems to make this plan happen with operational excellence for the next several years.
Well, and which CEO was it that was like, I'm laying everyone off and everyone's going through the worst time of their lives right now, but I'm going to be fine. I'm just fine.
That was the guy that said, that was the better guy. He was like, this has been really hard for me to do this. And then it came out like how much money he was making and all that.
But I'm okay. I'm going to get through this.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'll make it.
Right. I'm going to be just fine. I have millions and millions of dollars and I just got a bonus after laying a bunch of people off, but I'm going to be okay through this difficult time. Don't worry about me. This is literally the exact opposite of being better.
Yeah.
So
this one.
Don't be better.
I'm going to be okay.
Right.
No, this one, I like that they took responsibility for it. I like the stance that they're, and it honestly, when I saw them like laying off a bunch of people, I thought, oh, not again. I'm no longer interested in this company. It's a fly-by-night tech company. But after hearing the words of the CEO, that's what I would hope from a CEO. Like I can't.
Well, from, contrasting, I guess, they kind of go into the iBuying situation or category, but I think there's a stark contrast between the difference. I think this type of format should succeed, in my opinion. How many sellers, especially through the Rona, where it was tough to be contingent and have to sell a home before you buy a home.
Yeah.
Imagine just, okay, cool. They bought my home or they're good and I'm all cash imagine that. That seems like a formula that would work to me. So this is kind of odd. I don't know. I haven't checked on, with
the only
HomeLight,
downside,
but I've partnered with HomeLight.
The only downside is that you're shifting risk from the consumer to the company. That's and so it is a riskier move for the company, but I guess that's why they could charge the rates to the consumer that they do. It's kind of like the bridge loans, right? A bank can give you a bridge loan and you can basically do the same thing or something similar. But that's the risk in that scenario is very much on the buyer. I feel like the power buying, I feel like it's a riskier play. I don't know what their ways out are contractually though. I'd have to take a look. So anyway, interesting news, given what's happening in the market with the power buying and the shifting and the iBuying and all that stuff. Yeah. But it looks like, if I had to place a bet on the jockey and not the horse, I like that CEO way better.
I was going to say he's unfortunate news for the employees, but he's trying to fix it and at least taking responsibility for it. We don't read a lot of statements like that from CEOs ever.
Yeah. Very true. All right, let's hit up on mortgage rates. Mortgage rates dip below 5%.
What? No. They've been raised in the last month 1.5 points, right?
When they were raised, it was at 6, so it should be like 6.75.
7.5 right now.
Yeah. No, mortgage rates dip below 5%.
I'm not understanding this.
What is the getting Fed's a second job, chance Ray? Opportunity?
I'm just kidding.
What does the Fed even do? After weeks of escalating borrower cost, home buyers are getting a second chance to lock in lower rates. This article comes to us from magazine.realtor. The 30-year fixed rate mortgage fell to an average just below 5% for the week ending August 4th, Freddie Mac reports. With rates dipping in recent days, mortgage applications are increasing for the first time in 5 weeks. Mortgage Bankers Association reported this week that applications for home purchase increased 1% following weeks of declines as home buyers and refinances got spooked by higher mortgage rates. Did you see an uptick in showings or anything? I mean, did you see an uptick in buyer inquiries or showings because of the rates?
I don't know if it was because of the rates, but I had a really, really good open house on Sunday. It was a newish listing. It had been on the market for 5 days, but the Saturday was no traffic, and Sunday I had a lot of groups through. So
this last week, so I listed a house, and it was kind of quiet, and a lot of people in our area go on vacation these last 2 weeks before school starts.
Yeah.
And then last week it was like on, and it's been on constantly since then. So I don't think it was related to the rates though. I think it was related to people's vacation schedules and all that jazz.
Yeah. I cause these rates, they change so volatilely. They're so volatile. I just made up a word. They're not all gems. Every now and then I come up with a dumb one, but anyway, they change so quickly. Like I've said 1,000 times here on the show, but I don't know how, like, our buyers like, okay, if it gets below 5, I'm gonna lock in, like refresh. Oh, still 505. Okay. Oh, they went up to 5.25.
Okay.
Oh, no, they're back to, like, I just don't think.
So let's pretend you're a buyer in the market. Okay. You're a buyer in the market and you're looking at this and you're like, whoa, rates dip below 5. Let's lock that puppy in. Your lender's going to say, all right, awesome. What are you going to buy? And you're going to go, I don't know.
I haven't even started looking yet.
Because there's not really that much on the market. We are seeing an increase in inventory, but it's not because of new inventory hitting. It's because buyers that have pulled back.
Oh, that's
all right. So let me keep reading on this one. Do what?
That's a good transition. We're gonna have to come back to it.
We'll have to come back to that.
Yeah. We'll revisit.
Right, so mortgage rates remain volatile during the tug of war between inflationary pressures and the clear slowdown of economic growth. Sam Carter, Freddie Mac's chief economist. The high uncertainty surrounding inflation and other factors will likely cause rates to remain variable, especially as Federal Reserve attempts to navigate the current economic environment.
That's so non-committal. They're likely to remain variable. Okay, cool. Thanks, man. So
that's right.
They're probably going to go up, or you know what? They might go down. They actually might go down, but then they'll go up again, probably, maybe. So yeah, you're good. Yeah, it's fine.
So our dude Lawrence Yun, National Association of Realtors chief economist, said the peak mortgage rates may have already occurred because oil and gasoline prices have been falling lately. Hence, will lessen broader inflationary pressures. Lower inflation means less aggressive interest rates by the Fed. So there you go. If inflation slows down, then the Federal Reserve will stop raising rates.
Yeah.
And then we shouldn't see a lot of job losses because that means businesses will still okay. They're going to still expand a little bit.
Which about 3 weeks ago, inflation slowed down a little bit. Wasn't it about 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Started slowing down so they can take off that upward pressure on rates and it's really interesting to watch it happen this time because it's interesting to watch it happen this time. It's really, it's happening so clearly.
Dusty Martin said, no, I'm seeing an uptick because it's not 115 degrees anymore and everyone is back from their summer vacay.
Yeah.
They're almost in a balanced market over there. Oh. From a 2-month supply to 12? Wow.
To 12-month supply?
That's good. Well, that's the range. That's the range. They're ranging from 2 to 12 months depending on the area and the price point.
That's interesting. So is the market going to crash?
That's a good question. I don't even know.
So obviously it's a silly question, but
let me show you how this. So that was the magazine Realtor report. Let's show how it was reported in CNBC. Wild swings in mortgage rates last week caused a rare surge in refinancing. Refinance applications rose 4% for the week, 82% lower than a week ago or a year ago. The purchase market continues to experience a slowdown despite the strong job market, said Joel Kahn, Mortgage Bankers Association Associate Vice President, Economic and Industry Forecasting.
Why haven't we pulled that sound effect yet? Is it better when I do it?
I mean, I guess we could. I'd have to find it. I wonder, where'd the button go? I found a website that allows me to quickly search those, but I may have covered it up with some of our articles, which I have. So I'll have to get back to that.
800 tabs open.
There's a lot going on in this screen. 55-inch screen covered in articles right now. Dead
It's
serious.
like when you see Ray's head turn, he's looking at his screen.
I am literally looking at my screen.
Mine
That's
is
the
a
blessing
little-
and the curse of the screen is that
Yeah.
like I can have it on a 10-point font and read it and have a bunch of stuff up there. But the curse is like it looks weird on camera.
So
All right, so mortgage applications to purchase a home were down 1% for the week and down 19% from a year ago. The purchase market continues to experience a slowdown despite the strong jobs market. This is the rest of Joel Kahn's quote. Activity has now fallen in 5 of the last 6 weeks, and buyers remain on the sidelines due to still challenging affordability conditions and doubts about the strength of the economy.
So 2 things. When Dusty's reading articles on her own and they mention Joel Kahn, she hears me go, Kahn.
That's pretty fantastic.
But I'd like to get some comments or if anyone wants to jump on Clubhouse. Are we okay? So remember when the Rona started, there was a 2-month pause, like hard stop. Everyone slammed on their brakes. What are we going to do? Who's essential? Realtors are essential, but here's your guidelines that you have to follow to show houses and sell houses, right?
Yeah.
And then it accelerated. There was a frenzy and all this stuff. So then seasons were way off and the market was just doing whatever it did. Are we back? Not a normalized market, meaning it's not an even market. We don't have enough inventory for that, I don't think. But are we back to, all right, kids are back in school because
predictable seasonality?
Yeah. Are we back to predictable seasonality?
Yeah.
And back to normalcy in that regard? Like, did we slow down to catch up to the 2-month break we started at the beginning of the Rona 2 years ago?
I think so. I mean, we were still in a seller's market before the Rona hit.
Right.
And people were predicting like at the end of 2022 will be a strong buyer's market. That was the big prediction.
I was predicting that too, 2022, 23, but obviously
that's what Zillow and stuff fell through.
Yeah.
So I was reading a comment while saying that's what Zillow and them were saying too about the buyers. Jeremy James says seasonality, and then this, and then this.
Agreeing. Okay.
Matt said only one offer though. Oh, he said it's still hot in Atlanta, but not white hot. Just got one under contract in 5 days. Only one offer. Interesting.
And that's with horrible cell service. Remember, Atlanta doesn't have. Georgia doesn't have. They have like 3 cell towers in the entire state. I don't know why I mess with Matt. I love him too much, I guess. Rolling Browns.
Oh man, yeah, that's Cali for you. That's why everybody's excommunicating. All right, let's talk about. You like chips, Dan?
Yeah, absolutely.
You like stale chips?
No, absolutely.
You like houses, Dan?
Yeah, absolutely.
You like stale houses?
I do.
A growing share of home listings are stale as the market cools.
Oh, it's so sad.
But the interesting thing is, why is it stale? Like, it could be stale because you have, let's say you have a sudden influx of inventory hitting the market, right? Bunch of stuff hitting the market, right? And now you have buyers that are like, well, I'm one of 16 buyers looking to buy these 3 houses in this neighborhood. But suddenly I'm one of 16 buyers looking to buy these 33 homes in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Well, that means that like half the homes aren't going to sell, right?
Yeah.
So this is not that. A dearth, a good word, by the way, Redfin, a dearth of buyers and relatively few new listings are leading to an uptick in homes sitting on the market longer than a month. It's giving buyers some breathing room while frustrating sellers.
Yeah. And
the share of U.S. homes.
Sorry, I think that like what you just said. Okay, when I listed the home, I thought I priced it right, but then all of a sudden 7 other homes came on the market that were priced better than mine. Like, you have to be real critical with how you think and how you adjust your prices. And you have to have that conversation with your sellers. Like, other inventory is going to come on the market. Because it's easy to go, well, that one's been sitting for 30 days. It would have sold a year ago, but it missed the mark by 50 grand. So let's just price it less than that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at Jeremy's comment. Stale is 30 days. LOL.
Yeah.
I mean,
you remember those back in the day where you'd sell it in 30 days and be like, oh, that's so fast.
yeah, dude, when I started in real estate in 2012 was my first full year. But I remember making flyers that say, we will sell your home in 88 days or less. And that was faster than everyone else. And that's here in Southern California. That was faster than everyone else by like 30 days. Everyone else was over 100 days it took to sell a home.
I mean, I was in the market when things were on the market 120 days, crazy long. And I just don't remember what that feels like at all, honestly.
Yeah, dude,
it's going to take a while for me to reacclimate.
Like we're back to now where if someone fights me on wanting a 6-month contract, I'm like, no, we have to have one. Here's the reasons why. But during the Rona, people are like, I want a 3-month contract. Cool. I need 3 days. So yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right. So let's talk about this dearth, not Fred Durst. Sorry. Limp Bizkit fans will love that one. The share of U.S. homes that were listed for 30 days or longer without going under contract increased 12.5%. That's not a giant increase in July. From a year earlier. Put another way, roughly 2/3, 61.2% of for sale homes were on the market for at least 30 days. Well, when you say it like that, it sounds way worse. Wait a minute.
Jeez.
The share of homes that were listed for 30 days went up 12.5%. Total, it's 61.2% of the homes. Okay. Wow. That's a lot.
And I like all these articles that are talking about, I see a lot, and it's been happening. We've been talking about the shift for months, right?
Yeah. Ever since January or February, we started talking about it.
And it happened fairly quickly, and we were on top of it. But I still see articles that said the shift is coming. Has the shift happened? And then you read just what that little statement you read right there. Yes, it's happened. It's already happened.
Shift. It sounds like it shifted 30 days ago. Think about it. We look at those and like, oh, I guess the shift's coming because this home has now been sitting on the market for 30 days. No. Shift happened 30 days or longer ago. These are just the lasting impact of that. This is the lagging indicator. This is the days on market. The first year-over-year increase in stale housing supply since the beginning of the pandemic. Almost said it. And close to the biggest uptick in Redfin's records, which go back to 2012. The only time it increased more, 13.9% year over year, was April of 2020, when the housing market nearly ground to a halt. If you don't recall, that was when some agents' jobs were considered unnecessary. What was it called? It wasn't unnecessary.
No, it was I said it when I was talking about it 5 minutes ago.
What was the phrase that everyone was using?
Non-essential.
Non-essential. Non-essential.
And remember, it wasn't, I don't remember how it happened for you guys, but we went pretty much right back to being essential. But in Pennsylvania, they were not. They couldn't work. They took months.
Yeah, our friend Colin was sitting on his thumbs for a bit.
He was sitting on his duff.
Homes staying on the market longer is a reflection of the housing market slowing in response to 5% plus mortgage rates.
Slowing, not has slowed. Slowing. Right. It's interesting.
Here's a quote from Redfin's Deputy Chief Economist Taylor Marr. People want to know whether we've officially shifted from a seller's market to a buyer's market.
No.
While there's not a clear line separating those two ideas, actually, I mean, there's some pretty clear. Homes sitting on the market longer at this point is in the buyer's favor. Buyers can take time. I feel like this is written by their PR team and not an economist. Buyers can take their time making careful decisions about homes without worrying so much about bidding wars, offering over the asking price, or waiving contingencies. It's a different story for sellers who have spent the last 2 years hearing about the neighbors' homes going multiple offers on the day it goes on sale. Now they need to price lower, get back to the basics of selling a home, like staging, sprucing up, painting, and to get the buyer's attention. So, I mean, he's right in some regard, but I think we're a long way away from a buyer's market. I don't think anyone is saying that this is a buyer's market. Most people are saying it's a seller's market, but it's a slower seller's market.
Yeah.
Actually, I said in the reel that I released yesterday that buyers are longing. They're not 76. Well, we're going to get to this number in a minute, but 76% of buyers are looking at the market right now saying, it's not a good time to buy. Right. But they're not comparing now to what it may be like in the future with even higher rates and higher home prices.
Right.
And rents even higher. They're comparing now to like back in the day, 2018, 2019. That was a better time. So I think it's all a mind thing.
Yeah, I was sitting with my seller at a listing appointment on Saturday. I don't remember when it was, but I think it was last weekend, whatever. Or maybe it was anyway. But she commented, she's like, I bought an 81, not this home, a different home, but I bought an 81 and the interest rate was 18%.
Wow. Julie Moon says that she has plenty of buyers who are just indecisive and wants what they cannot have for the price they want it. Yeah. And it's not going to go down. That's the readjustment of expectations. That's when your favorite wine, Chateau Saint Michel Indian Wine Reserve or Indian Wells Reserve from 2014, phenomenal wine if you can find it. But if you can find it right now, it's going to be a pretty penny compared to what it used to be. You used to get it for like $10. It was dirt cheap. We could buy it by the crates, and now it's like super expensive. That's what's happened. It's like some of these prices have gone up to a point where they don't want to pay for it, but they want that product. Well, they're going to have to readjust their expectations, I think, moving forward.
Hey, we have a couple comments on
the
Clubhouse. So Justin Conoco,
what's up?
He says, I had a testimonial recently where my client literally said Justin was amazing. He sold our house in 45 days. It was way faster than I expected. And when I say recently, I mean it popped up on our social media as if it was new, but it was from 7 years ago. So 2015, 45 days was fast.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And Justin's a good agent. Despite what you kids out there who just got your real estate license 2 years ago think, Justin's an okay agent selling it 45 days. They've never had a house go 45 days, Justin, ever.
Debatable. He said.
Have you thought about that? Oh, that's good.
And then I don't know how it works there, but for here, that would be, it took 15 days to get into escrow, 2 weeks, and then 30 to sell, to actually close. And
I think ours counts the day it goes under contract as the days on market. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. If we put it in backup offers, the clock or the ticker keeps counting.
Matt Lamar says 45 days. Justin, you're better than that.
There you go. So 45 days he says, to go under contract, 2 weeks on conditions.
What a terrible agent.
What kind of agent is it? So
that's so funny.
And then Tiana McNeil says she's noticed new construction builders are offering smaller and cheaper floor plans so buyers can get in on lower price point. Don't know what that's going to do with larger floor plans that were sold for higher in 2021. Builders are struggling right now too.
You know, I think there's a lot of changes happening right now in the way people run their business. Did anyone want to comment? I thought I saw somebody unmic there on the Clubhouse. Was anyone unmicing to comment on this? What's happening in your market? What's up, Shane? How's it going, man?
Good, man. Good. We started seeing some correction in Denver for sure. And anyway, it's about July. But right now, our strong neighborhoods are correcting 4 to 5%. Some of our weaker neighborhoods are already correcting up to 10%. So, but here's something to think is that most of us thought, at least some good friends of mine that are strong in the business, plus myself, we thought that we were due a correction pre-corona, and then interest rates just spurred us on. So I think we're going to see this hit first and faster than most.
You're going to see it hit what the most? I couldn't hear that last part.
I think the correction of the hit is coming to us faster than most. Just like I feel like that'll happen in Seattle and other places.
Oh, faster
than most. Got it. Ready. Yeah, because we were ready for correction pre-corona, because we had such a strong run, and so I think our correction is coming quicker than most.
I wonder how much of all this. One day, historians will look back and say, back in the day, corrections took a year or two to shake out, but then in the information age, Now corrections take about 2 months to shake out because everybody's sharing information so fast. The market and the economies are changing so quickly. I wonder how much that has to do with it or not, how long they last. I don't know. It's just a sidebar.
A pontification, if you will.
I was pontifying. I think it was pontificating, but anyway.
Pontifying works.
Okay. So speaking of changes, there's a lot of businesses changing, right? You've got builders changing. You have brokerages changing. You have realtors changing. You also have Redfin making some significant changes. In a Redfin article that was secretly sent to me because it's behind a paywall and I'm not allowed to reference, Redfin looks to eliminate agent commission. What? You know this? I'm sorry. I should have finished this. Redfin looks to eliminate agent
commission. One more word.
I did this. Well, I did this on purpose because people think that Redfin's been after the agent commission for a long time. Let me finish the sentence. Redfin looks to eliminate agent commissioned refunds. What?
So wait, that's rebate. Where if you buy with us, we'll give you our commission kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or a percentage of it, a chunk of it.
You could argue that was the big difference in using a Redfin agent and someone else. So the brokerage also plans to advertise a 1% listing fee charged to a move-up consumer in select markets.
Okay.
All right. So the second quarter was rough for Redfin in mid-June. Brokerage laid off 470 employees. Demand for housing dropped. Despite these struggles, the firm generated $606 million in revenue, top line, year-over-year increase of 29%. However, the firm's net loss rose from $200 to $27.9 million a year ago to $78.1 million.
Oh my God!
Wait,
so Opendoor lost less, right? 200 million over the course of a year, but 145 down to 55 or whatever.
Yeah, they only lost 55 million.
Redfin's went up from what to what?
27.9 million to 78.1 million.
They lost $50 more million.
Yeah. To 20 something more million, right? Wasn't it 20? Wasn't it? I don't know. I'm getting confused.
What was the first number?
I'm getting confused. I can't even think about it.
Anyway, so many millions. More money.
Everyone lost many millions. Okay. Redfin in the second quarter performed below expectations we set in our last call, said Glenn Kelman, Redfin CEO. He told investors during the firm's second quarter earnings call. The shortfall was due to the largest rate hike in 35 years.
That's why. It was the rate hike.
Yeah.
Right.
Unlike Ribbon CEO, who takes responsibility. No, sorry.
I mean,
there are major markets. I mean, that is a big change.
Yeah.
Although rising mortgage rates hampered Bay Equity's revenue, Redfin saw its mortgage attached rates rise from 6% to 11% in June to 15% in July, which is nearly twice as high as the firm's previous monthly high of 8%. All right, so keep going. I'm going to keep going towards this. I'm going to find this part. I'm looking for the part where they're going to talk about eliminating the agent commission stuff.
Huh.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty interesting because everyone's been talking about them for a long time and how it's to the chagrin of a lot of agents where they do the discount thing. Okay, here it is.
Yeah.
The firm also added 52 MLSs. Listing coverage expanded to 94% of the U.S. population. Redfin also announced changes in its agent commission structure. In late July, the firm eliminated the commission refund it offered home buyers in 22 markets, receiving, quote, few objections from customers or agents. Well, yeah, the agent's not going to object to that. If this pilot continues to be successful, we will eliminate the refund entirely as early as January of 2023, improving a full year gross margins in our core business by more than 500 basis points. Wow. In the 9 small markets that have already eliminated the refund in 2019, we kept taking share. So they kept growing in that market despite not discounting anymore.
So they became more, because what they're doing is they have salaried employees that are showing homes and doing all this stuff, right? So they're already getting paid a salary, whatever they make, 40, 50, 60 grand a year. So they're not getting a commission. We can keep that seller commission, or we can offer it to buyers. But now they're eliminating that and still have salaried employees.
Yeah.
So
Smart. So they're keeping more of their money and the agent's not getting it.
well, they have to because they lost.
I guess
more
that.
money.
So I guess the agents would. Earlier I was like, yeah, the agents don't care if they get to keep, but they don't keep it because it is a salary situation.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And to summarize, Dusty summarizes it for us.
based on their earnings, they are failing more bad.
Failing more bad. That's a new show coming to AMC. Failing more bad.
But if they do eliminate that discount, you have to wonder how many agents are going to be like, wait a minute, I'm working for you guys because you had this discount thing and I was going to get people easier. But now you're not doing the discount and I have to win these negotiation battles about why you should use us.
For not what a non-salary, right? Well, that, and also for up against an agent that's non-salaried, who's going to negotiate harder?
Yeah, that's really interesting. Shawnee, I saw you flash your mic. What do you got?
Yeah, it's just ironic. That was their whole business model, offering the rebate. So now they're going to actually have to have a staff that knows how to negotiate and work with the other agents and work cohesively. So, yeah, I mean, because they won't automatically get, a lot of people went with Redfin solely for that reason.
Yeah, and the agents aren't going to make any more money. They're still making less. Maybe they'll get a bump in their salary because the additional commissions, or maybe there's some kind of bonus structure. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's an interesting.
Can't wait to see what happens.
It's something I've always thought about, right? You can lead a team and you can have some people on your team with the full commission and then you can have other people on your team that are salaried. But you would think that if they were on your team, that's somebody that you're watching a little closer than, and somebody at a major corporation like Redfin. But as your company grows and expands, then do you have the accountability in place to make sure that that person's doing a good job? Because salary is, it's comfortable. There's no guessing if you're going to get paid in 2 weeks or not, despite the market shifting.
Whether I get this offer accepted or not, I'm still getting paid.
You just have to hope to God the CEO doesn't invite you to a Zoom call.
Just all right. I got the link. I'll see myself out. It's fine. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
That's not.
That was funny. A comeback. That was a good comeback. Yeah. That's not going to make sense on all the chops that we're chopping up for the Chops channel, which by the way is going to be released this week. So they say
chopped in shorts. Chopped shorts.
We're going to put chopped in shorts on one channel. And they say you should launch a channel with like 5 to 10 videos so that people can watch one after the other. So we have like a couple of shows that we've chopped up that are all going to be going out this week.
Yeah.
Mike V said, haha, until you get laid off. Yes, that's exactly. All right. So the next step on the docket, let's talk about consumer confidence. I did write an article for this, but I don't think it's been released yet. Let me check.
Did you write it for BAM as well?
Yeah. Let me check. Yeah, it's not out yet.
Tell him I want to write an article. I'm going to write an article for him.
Okay. Write an article for him.
My writing style is a little different than Ray's.
They do have editors that'll look at you side-eyed.
They'll be like,
ooh, thunder. Guys, I love rain, especially right now. It's been cooling off. Yesterday morning, a little off the subject. Sorry, deal with it. Yesterday morning, I woke up. Is he in there? Armando, yeah. Oh, yeah, he's here.
What kind of show
is
this?
There you go. So yesterday morning, I went to the gym because I'm still doing the 75 hard thing as evidenced by the water jug. I went to the gym, walked outside, and there was a slight chill in the air. It was amazing. It gave me all the feelings of nostalgia and football season. And it was like, here we go. I can hear it in my head now. Dun, 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 dun. I just like it's tis the season. Like, I think there are probably, not to be chauvinistic, I think there are probably women out there that start to see orange trees and go, Ugg boots, pumpkin spice latte, here I come. Right. And that's totally fine. I don't have anything wrong with that. For me, it's like there's a slight crispness in the morning, and I immediately think of football. Yes,
football, cozy weather, and there is a trend on social media where the wife or girlfriend or whatever plays that dun 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 dun, dun plays the sound.
The NFL.
Play this, the NFL sound or song, and your husband will come running, and they start playing it like, and then you see the husband walking around the corner looking at the TV like, is there football on right now? It's Tuesday night. What?
There's a couple of good memes about it right now, and I think people are just kind of in the mood for this because it's been, I don't know where you guys have been, but it's been a little rough. Let me see if I can display this meme real quick. Stop screen share, select screen. Tab.
I like when he talks through it. And yes, my column, I'm going to call it that. Things Dan doesn't even care about. Yep.
I don't want to, no offense. I don't want to show a whole text thread here. I just want to, okay, there it is. Here you go. Here's one of my favorite memes. Do y'all see that? No, you can't see it. Yeah, hang on.
No.
Bam. All right. So it's this guy getting kicked by work and stress and finances. And then you see the golden appearance of someone looking at this guy that's being downtrodden by work, stress, and finances. And then in the end, they embrace. And the golden hand that reached out represents football season.
Everything's cool because I know I'm going to have fun.
It's funny.
Football 3 nights a week.
I mean, woo pig suey. So what's funny about this is I didn't realize how much I liked football season. And this is no joke. This is exactly what happened. I had no idea how much I liked football season and how much I was into it until one day I was vacuuming the house. This was like back in 2006, 2007. I was vacuuming the house on a Sunday afternoon, and I hear on the TV the NFL song coming on because I think they do like 2 games, and like I literally got chills. I thought it was so lame that I got chills about football, but I was like, that means winter. Like I love winter and fall. Like that's my time of year. It's hunting season. It's all that. So just that crispness in the air took me back. It's cake season.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is before those cake season existed.
Yeah, those cold, crisp mornings are they're the best thing ever.
All right. I was a little derailed.
Yeah,
I'll just cut this out. That was only for the live listeners. No one else gets the privilege of knowing us there. All right. So let's talk about some data that was released. The Home Purchase Sentiment Index.
That was good timing.
Except you're off. Sorry, guys.
All right, so Dan at it again.
Fannie Mae. All right, there it goes. Fannie Mae. So they got the data release, the Home Purchase Sentiment Index. It's made up of buying conditions, selling conditions, price outlook, mortgage rate outlook, job loss concern, actually, and then the change in the household income. So some of the most intriguing, like a summary of the numbers actually is right here at the bottom of this first chart. This top thing is the Home Purchase Sentiment Index. This is not the people that think you should buy or shouldn't buy. It is the net number for the Home Purchase Sentiment Index. So this is like everything added up and all the points added up. So for buying conditions, 17% said it was a good time. 76% said it was a bad time. So the net good time to buy is a negative 59. So this is the highest number since 2011. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The
highest negative.
Highest negative number, 76. It's the highest bad time to buy number since 2011. And it is the highest overall. I think it's the highest overall differential number as far as the Home Purchase Sentiment Index goes since 2011. And yes, that's right. It's the highest. 62.8 is the Home Purchase Sentiment Index. That's the lowest. Sorry, I'm getting my numbers mixed up. Hang on. Let me go back to this chart. I've got this. I promise. I'm just going to go back to my article. I'm going to read you an unwritten article because I have all this data already.
Unpublished.
Unpublished. All right. So it's off 2 points in July, 62.8, which is the lowest level since 2011. That's what I'm trying to say. It's the lowest level since 2011. It's off of the high that was in August. You can see just here on the chart, it was 93.8 was actually the high in August of 2019. In the report, 76% of customers or consumers say that now's a bad time to buy. 67% believe it's a good time. This is a quote from the report. HPSI has declined steadily for much of the year as higher mortgage rates continue to take a toll on housing affordability, said Doug Duncan. We haven't said his name in a while.
It's been a minute.
Fannie
Doug
Mae Senior
Duncan.
Vice President and Chief Economist. He goes, he says, unfavorable mortgage rates have been increasingly cited by consumers as the top reason behind the growing perception that it's a bad time to buy as well as sell a home. Unfavorable mortgage rates have been, I'm going to read this again. Unfavorable mortgage rates are the reason why consumers say it's a bad time to buy and sell. Additionally, consumers appear to be indicating that selling conditions are softening as the, quote, good time to sell component declined meaningfully over the past 2 months. And on net, fewer consumers expect home prices to go up. With home price growth slowing and projected to slow further, we believe that consumer reaction to the current housing conditions is likely to be increasingly mixed.
Now,
some homeowners may opt to list their homes sooner, take advantage of the perceived high prices, while some potential home buyers may choose to postpone their purchasing decision, believing some prices will drop. So it's one way or the other.
yeah. And what's your job as a real estate agent? Get the right info out there to your consumers, your clients.
Yeah. So just skip that first part, bro. Stumbling over my own words.
What does
wait, I want to go back. Let me go back to some of these numbers and then we can talk about it. Consumers believe that home prices will increase 1.9% over the next 12 months.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting too.
That's rather low.
They think rents will increase 7.6%. So this is consumers. This is what they think. Now, most of the realtors I talk to think home prices are going to continue to go up 5 to 6% over the next year.
That's where I'm at. Because what was the last time we covered it a couple weeks ago? It was at 13% instead of the regular 19 or 25 or whatever. So they're still going up at a slower rate. So that's interesting. They only think it's going to go up 2%.
They think rent is going to go up 7.6%.
Which I think that one is dead on.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see they think that rents are going to climb faster than home prices. That's their mentality, which is an interesting way to, it's interesting to see into their psyche a little bit.
67% believe that rates will increase, mortgage rates. 22% are concerned about losing their job. 78% are confident in their career. 24% of respondents say they have significant increase in their income. So this was my summary. I've kind of already said it during the show earlier, but this was my summary. Some think that relative high confidence in their employment. Some may think that relative high confidence in their employment and incomes, as well as a belief that home prices and rents will continue to increase and rates will continue to go up, that should lead a consumer to believe that now's a good time to buy, right? Right? If you're confident that prices will increase in the future and rates will also be up, and currently rents are going up, doesn't that mean that now would be a good time to purchase? Right. But it seems like, because that's due to the future cost, yada, yada, yada. Right. However, consumers are not likely comparing current market conditions to the future, but are looking back at what was, longing for the low priced. This is funny to me. Low priced, low rate sellers market of 2018 and 19.
That's funny.
Isn't that interesting? Because it was a seller's market then, but it was still low priced compared to now and lower rates compared to now.
Right. But
I don't think we're going to ever return to those prices.
No. But again, we say it all the time on the show, but if you bought then, even though you're like, I don't know, prices are kind of high, my budget stretched a little thin. Now you're looking back and go, really glad I bought.
Yeah.
Then, so is now the same thing as then? Yes, it is. And what does it say the sampling on this? Is this like 2,000 people?
It does somewhere. They have like pages and pages of how we did this.
Yeah, I'm always curious about that when they're like, this is what's happening, with consumers in, Northern America or in the United States. And it's like 2,000 people. Well, there's 320 million here. So
where is it?
Is this really what they're thinking?
Yeah. I mean, here's how they do the math and all that stuff too, which is interesting. But you guys can kind of take a look at the whole report. It's a good, they show you the graphs on there, the differences are the positive, negatives, and neutrals. And then they crunch the numbers to come out with the averages on these.
I like
So
when
it
they
shows you
overlay
the
them so you see the different like predictions versus what actually happened and so on.
over time as well.
Yeah.
So it looks like the respondents say it's a good time to sell or a bad time to sell. That's starting to kind of meet in the middle there.
Yeah. So what does that say to you, Ray? That says when you go to your clients, you need to have the conversation when they say, is now a good time to buy? Well, let's have that conversation.
Yeah. Let me show you.
Yeah.
And this is just what consumers think. It's not necessarily what's actually happening in the economy, but what consumers think will affect what's happening in the economy.
And by the way,
Jack Adridge says, I'm so confused. My bad. Just wait until I publish the article later. I'll post it.
Jason has a good comment, and that's part of the conversation you need to, or part of the this info you need to add to your conversation is rents. If you're going to continue renting, guess what? That could go up exponentially more than home prices and interest rates.
He said people have no confidence for what the future holds in anything. That's what's holding people back. So no confidence in the future economy, no confidence. Well, so that's what I thought too. But when I look and 78% of people are confident in their jobs, if you're pretty confident in where you work, that you have a good job, and you think that home prices are going to go up in the future, I mean, wouldn't just those two things alone, you think, well, now's probably a good time to buy.
Yeah.
If you think rates are going to go up, doesn't that add to it? If you think rents are going to go up, doesn't that add to it? I don't know. It's something's off. It's something's off in the messaging. It doesn't make sense. If I was a consumer with those thoughts in my head at the same time, I feel like I would be crazy because I can't shake those out.
Because the conversation I'm having a lot is, hey, my lease is up in 3 months, and in the last year, what I locked into a year ago versus what it's gonna be, it's gonna almost be unaffordable. So I have to have this conversation about purchasing. It's time to talk to a lender to see what I can afford, right? I mean, because I don't know what they could charge for versus what they did charge me a year ago, or if you signed a 2-year lease, whatever that is. I mean, think of that swing. All of a sudden, your $3,200 a month payment is now $3,800 a month, and they're just as happy with upping it on you. If you don't want to pay it, they'll get someone else in there that can pay it.
Yeah. Julie Moon says that people don't know how to think for themselves. They look to answers on the internet instead. Those people looking on the internet. No one should look at the internet unless you're watching our show.
Good thing we're on the internet. But Julie sums it up really well. Prices are either going to go up or down, or they may not. And rent will either be more expensive than buying or not.
Or not.
I mean,
yeah. Julie could be the economist.
Yeah.
People are still comparing. This is Adam Johnson. What's up, man? He said people are still comparing payments from last year's to payments from this year. They haven't gotten over the fact that they completely missed out on one of the best markets to purchase in history. And I would say Dusty Martin also said it's deer in the headlights syndrome, kind of echoing what you're saying. And I think that's what I said in the article too, that people aren't comparing now to what's going to happen in the future. They're comparing now to what happened in the past. So CNBC had an article on it, essentially saying all that stuff too. You guys can check that. But interestingly, and this is, I think goes back to what Adam was saying too. It appears that there are just more people overall that think the entire market is going to crash. More people than ever asked Google, will the housing market crash?
Here, do you want to try it? We can try it. Oh no, it'll echo on my phone. I can ask my phone.
Oh yeah, that would probably echo. But it'd be interesting if someone wants to ask their smart speaker at their house and tell us what it says in the chat. That'd be awesome. What does it say? Is the market going to crash? More people scouring the internet for search terms like housing crash than at any other time since 2007. So it behooves us to have a chopped out there saying housing crash as much as possible. So. And while housing crash was a popular query back during the subprime mortgage crisis, that's interesting. More forward-looking questions such as, will the housing market crash, now appear to be an all-time high. Popularity of the search term speaks to the volatility and uncertainty of these times in the housing market. This is exactly what Adam was saying. Jack Adridge says the biggest competition right now is against interest rates going up. You nailed it. As every recession that I've ever seen has been driven by financial crisis, strange times. People need a place to live. So if you can afford to buy what you can. Is a long-term investment, but most importantly, a home. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
There's a voice of reason.
You said so well. So I did the search, and then it gives you those little options on Google's. People also ask, and it says, "Will U.S. housing prices drop in 2022?" And it says, this is from July 24th. It says, CoreLogic's July 2022 analysis uses May 2022 data. Between May 2022 and May 2023, CoreLogic predicts U.S. home prices are poised to rise another 5%.
Well, at least they're getting good answers. That's what we just said. 5 to 6% is what consumers think. It's 1.9% on average. Right. The spike in searches about housing crash suggests owners, particularly those thinking of selling, are increasingly nervous about their market timing. That's Tony Mariotti, founder and CEO of Ruby Home. Throughout the pandy, Google users were more likely to ask, will the housing market crash, if they lived in some of the hottest housing markets. The phrase housing crash itself was a popular Google search term throughout the crisis, reaching its peak. This is back in 2007. Even before prices began their fall. But in the decade and a half since then, the term has mostly fallen out of regular use. So if you're creating content out there, be sure you have words like housing market crash, because it is being Googled. Now, I wanted to give another perspective on this. Maybe we should leave it in the same chopped. So if someone is actually asking the question, will the housing market crash? Then maybe we should put it in the same chopped as to, what leading opinions are on the crash.
Opinions are, and also the data behind what consumers are feeling and thinking.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and we're going to keep this in the same chopped, just so people get the full, if you're asking the question, if you found this wondering, will the housing market crash? Then stay tuned. Let's dive in. I'm still going to do a transition. Sorry.
Well, and Amy Cesario on Clubhouse says, are the people who thought the market was going to crash 2 years ago the same people who think it's going to crash now? Yes.
A lot of them. Hey, what's up, Amy, by the way?
Hi.
So will the housing market crash, Dan?
Yes. Oh, wait, were you asking? No.
The housing market won't crash, but you don't have to take my word for it. What crash? The housing market may already be headed for a soft landing. The United States housing market may be headed for a soft landing, not a collapse, according to at least one new analysis of inventory, home price, and construction material data. In an August 8th video to agents, sure to cause a stir, Altos Research founder, CEO Michael Simonson points that desperate sluggish growth in inventory and mortgage rates that until recently were on an upward march, home prices have largely avoided further acceleration, suggesting that while the housing market may have already dipped into a recession, the worst in history may face is a contraction. The worst the industry may face is a contraction, not a crash. So it's not a crash by this guy that looks at data all day. Inventory is rising, but rising less quickly than it did in the second quarter, and also less quickly than in recent Augusts of last several years. So he's basically saying because inventory is rising, but it's not rising at a crazy rate, it's going to sustain home prices. So there's not going to be a crash in home prices.
Right. And so Jason Bates says, how can housing from YouTube, how can housing not correct with inflation over 8% over an extended period of time? It has to break. Not trying to be the bearer of bad news. Nothing being done to help inflation, only to hurt it. But also, hasn't inflation gone down in the last few weeks?
In the last few weeks, it has. I mean, the Fed The Fed will help inflation. That's what they do. They raise the rates, inflation goes down. They lower the rates, inflation increases. Like that's the lever. But the other side of that lever, as they raise the rates, expansion in the economy decreases. And if economic expansion decreases, then jobs decrease. So that's the careful thing that they have to weigh.
But
Do
a
they
crash,
raise rates?
though,
But it's not. Yeah, I don't think it's going to crash.
because a correction is defined as what, Ray? 10%.
Change. Yeah.
So that's just a correction, not a crash, right? A crash is, I mean, you know, and
but basically,
I watch tons and tons of videos on this stuff, and it's you know, how mortgages were structured 20 years ago versus how they're structured now. That one thing alone solidifies how the market, maybe, I don't think it'll even correct. If it goes down, which would be near impossible in my mind, it would be 3 to 5%. It would be relatively small, but I don't see that happening.
I don't think home prices are going to go down. If home prices don't go down, I don't see it as a crash at all.
Right.
I would think people losing their equity would cause a stir. I just don't see people losing their equity. Fortune also has words on this.
Yeah.
A soft landing in the U.S. housing market is possible, says real-time data expert Altos. The same basic article, just slightly different take on it. Has the U.S. real estate market managed to navigate a soft landing? It sure looks like it to me. They're talking about this video. Is this on YouTube? Yeah. Here's the actual video. I can't show the video because if you show the video, we get a takedown notice. So anyway, there's a video in the articles that you guys can watch.
On both, on the Inman and the Fortune one?
Yeah. Yeah. Inman and Fortune both have links to the article, but you could probably Google Altos Research YouTube, and I bet it's there as well. So there you go. The market is not going to crash. Jason, you're the one. All right. So Jason, I'm going to ask you because you're a commenter. You're saying, how could it not break? You're using the word break. Do you think the housing market is going to crash? Not break, crash. Comment below.
Like crash. compared
crash.
Compared to the 20% drop, 19.2 or whatever it was in 2007 and 8.
Mike V with an interesting point says flat home prices in a high inflation period would essentially be devaluation. Yeah, so basically the money is more expensive and the houses aren't increasing in value at the same rate. But I just don't think we're going to see flat. I mean, I think homes are still going to go up. So that's my take.
Flat would have to be your scenario that you brought up earlier. You know, there's 16 buyers for 3 homes. Now there's 16 buyers for 33 homes. So homes sit, but then interest rates adjust down, and now there's more buyers for those other 17 homes.
So Jason's answer, he said, crash is hard to define. Not a 2008 drop for sure, but a major correction.
So he's saying that the full 10%. He's going the full month.
All right, Jason. Steak dinner on the table, bruh. Let's put some numbers on it. Let's find the numbers. You tell me the numbers. What do you think stuff's gonna? Is it going to be a decrease in home values? Is it going to be a deceleration in the acceleration of home price increases?
And it cannot be home prices or home listing prices. It can't be price drops. It has to be values. Where I bought my home today for $500 and tomorrow it's worth $450. That's 10%. And it's still, if the market's healthy though, thank you. But if the market is still healthy and mortgages are solid, there's not as many, what do they call them, Ray? Subprimes out there.
Yeah.
Isn't that a healthy correction? And 10% is egregious in my opinion, but isn't that a healthy correction? That's still not a crash.
I mean, I don't even think it's going to do that, but
I'm just like, some would
say it's healthy because now you're giving more buyers access to properties that they want at the prices they want.
Right. But also buyers have to, at some point, stop offering asking prices and have to start, if something's listed at, they have to go, okay, it's $500,000. I'm going to give you.
No, they'll go $500 and you pay my closing costs.
Right.
That's the first thing that we're going to see.
Yeah. That's the first thing they'll see. And we're already seeing, or you give me a $15,000 credit for all the repairs that the house needs. Right. But the house still closed at $500. but we would have to see houses listed at 500. I offer you 475, but still, that's not a decline in value. That's just I offered you less than what you were asking.
Right.
And it has to be a bunch of those homes that all got 500 now start getting 475, and they're all like for like, apples to apples. They all start going down. I mean,
I think Susie Orman said just one home in the neighborhood had to sell at
just
half
one,
price,
yeah.
and then
And all of a sudden, your neighbor's house,
yeah. I think that was Susie's barometer.
50%, she said. 50.
Okay, Jason says it'll be all of the above. Inflation is here to stay for a while. 1/3 of small businesses had a hard time paying rent last month. This will trickle down and affect housing. Okay, but how? What are we looking at as far as numbers go? Are we looking at an increase in prices? I think home values are still going to go up. I'll make a conservative prediction of 4%. If you're telling me they're going to go down, what are they going to go down? If they go down to whatever percentage you say, I'll buy you a steak dinner.
There you go. Ray is up 4%. And now, what is this time frame from today to a year from now?
I mean, to the end of the year.
The end of the year.
Well, okay. When is it? When is it over? When's the correction? When is it going to say, okay, now we've corrected? I mean, right. How do you gauge that? Is it going to take 2 years? Is it going to take a year?
Right. And then what's
sooner rather than later, Jason?
And then what's correction? Yeah, I want the steak dinner now. What's the correction versus a stabilization?
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about some more Zillow. Would you let Zillow into your home, Dan?
No.
To every nook and cranny?
No.
And upload everything about your home?
No.
But would you do it if your home was for sale?
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. Zillow Surfing 2.0. All right, so Zillow's got a new thing. I didn't know about this thing. Did you know about this thing?
No, this is the first I'm hearing of it.
So apparently it's been around because there had to have been a 1.0. But apparently
I didn't even know there was a 1.0.
I didn't either. So Zillow Surfing 2.0. It feels like couch surfing. Do you remember what couch surfing was?
Couch surfing. Yeah, I used to do it when I was in a band.
Couch surfing is when you just go stay on your friend's couch, right? So right. Couch surfing is a thing. Zillow launches Zillow Surfing nationwide to automate floor plans. So Zillow is branding around the idea of Zillow Surfing, the consumer habit of using the site's extensive listing content as a time killer, as a way to scroll through what else is out there. Now, I think this is a first step in something more major. Okay. But let me read to you the article first.
Okay, because I want to know where you're going.
Zillow is moving quickly to become more than a home search portal. It's now developing products for agents that veer from its original conception. Part of the move is called Zillow Surfing. Consumer habit. Oh, this article comes to us from Emma, by the way. Using the site's listing content as a time suck. To make the experience even more engrossing, especially for those who actually want to buy a home, Zillow rolled out its interactive, automatically generated floor plan service. Zillow Surfing has always been about imagining the possibilities a move could bring. Zillow Surfing 2.0 is bringing those possibilities to life, a much more interactive, realistic way.
Okay.
Now shoppers act more quickly and confidently, whether they're searching on their own or neighborhood thousands of miles away.
So it's just, how does it generate this?
After scanning a home for its visual virtual tour, the app can be set to also generate a floor plan that is linked directly to where the person is when scrolling around a listing.
So
the app's algorithms determine the dimensions of a room that's scanned. It's like Matterport.
It's a 3D tour. It's Matterport.
Square foot. And Matterport does floor plans too. There's no additional cost to create or publish a floor plan. An hour of teleporting through interactive floor plans on Zillow can replace an afternoon or longer of scheduling tours and driving around. It's a 3D home tour with a floor plan.
Which is what I already do. I mean, Matterport.
Do you already upload a floor plan?
If it's provided by the seller, yeah.
So I have a big question about it.
Though. But so what the 3D tour does, if you guys haven't seen a 3D tour, you can click and virtually walk through the home, right? But then what it does it stitches all of that. That's the technical term from the Zoomer, huh? Or am I a boomer? I don't know what I am. Anyway, but it stitches together all their different rooms, and it gives you a virtual floor plan. So you see the scrolled out version, and it's 3D. So you can go look top down into the different rooms and see a 3D floor plan. So is this just like that, but Zillow branding?
I mean, it sounds like it. It sounds like the same thing. But wait, I want to take a break. We have breaking news.
This thing's a jam.
Breaking news on This Week in Real Estate with Ray and Dan. When news breaks, we fix it.
So good.
Shay Rhodes. She said, I asked Alexa, the housing crash question that we talked about earlier. Sorry if I made everybody's Alex go off. So I asked my smart speaker, and the response was that the housing market isn't easy to predict, and most experts do not expect it to crash. Well, there you go.
If Alexa says it. Oh, sorry. Jeez. Sorry. Nope. Don't do
Smart
that.
speaker A says it. If Amazon smart speaker says it, then
right.
Yeah. But thank you for that, Shay. I appreciate you asking, and thanks for. Is this your first time to comment? I think it's your first time to comment.
And did you guys know you can also say smart speaker play This Week in Real Estate, and it will.
Yeah, it will play. It may play. There's a podcast out there with like one show, and it's the same name. So I wonder if it'll play that. All right, but anyway, my big question about this was Zillow. I have one question and one idea of where this is going to go. My big question is, do they have the rights to the floor plan? There's a battle right now going on between people that are publishing their floor plan and who owns the rights to the floor plan, and the architect that has the rights to the floor plan. And there are sellers that are putting their floor plan online and then getting sued by the architect, saying you don't have rights to publish that floor plan.
So now, is this going to open a door?
Is the floor plan that the architect is saying you don't have rights to publish, is that floor plan the one that they created, or is that one that's generated? And I don't have any clarification on that. And is it the floor plan and all of its details and the elevations and where to put the electrical and plumbing and all that stuff?
Where the doors are, which way they open, all that stuff, right?
Or is it a general layout of the property? So that's a big question I have about the legality of doing floor plans, period, because we've talked on the show about the lawsuit out there that's active,
right?
Where people don't have rights to these floor plans.
Is this going to cause an architect uprising? Like, are they going to go, whoa, you can't do that. I generated that 5 years ago when the house was built. You can't do that.
Or now will floor plans be way more expensive than they used to be? Because I could just go to the Zillow house and be like, oh, that's a new construction place. I'm going to do the little Zillow floor plan thing, and I'm going to take this and build my own house. I don't know. Interesting. Shay said, yes, it's my first time on here speaking as well, and I'm from Kansas. Well, thank you, Shay Rhodes.
So another smart speaker from Julia Moon, another smart speaker. She's a smart speaker, but the
Apple smart speaker,
the Apple smart person robot in the Apple phone quoted an article that said housing prices are not going to crash. In fact, housing prices are going to go up.
Wow. So even a little more intelligence in that one, I would say.
Yeah. So
I'm actually impressed by the answers, because I agree with them. Can't argue with it.
Huh. Yeah. This
Dusty
one, I
brings
agree
up a good point about she said, talk about a major security risk, giving general public a layout of my house.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, I guess so.
I know exactly the entry points and all the exit points.
What are you hiding, Dusty? What's the room with no doors to it, Dusty? All right.
Why is there a room behind that mirror, Dusty? Here I got
between the walls.
We got some comments about the floor plans from Scap, our resident appraiser. This is on Clubhouse. He says floor plans are becoming a thing with appraisals. Fannie requires them on desktop appraisals / hybrids. There are a couple companies out there that have developed tech, and a couple are owned by appraisal management companies. There are issues with them.
Ouch. So what do you mean there are issues though? And Scap, you're gonna have to send that you'll have to send that YouTube link in the contributor chat because it doesn't work in the Clubhouse chat.
Can't click on the link. And then Justin
has some great comments in the chat, by the way. Justin, a couple other people, JLE. Sorry we missed some of your comments during the show.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys want, I could comment on it a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead. What do you mean that it's a point of contention, I guess?
Well, I'll post that YouTube video. Peter Christensen, he's a really well-known attorney that deals with a lot of appraisal and real estate issues out there. And he actually did a video on these floor plans and that case that's out there contesting them. And there's not a lot of information on it just yet, but they are becoming more prevalent in with these desktop hybrid type things. So a lot of companies have developed different apps. There's a big one out there called Cubicasa. They were originally a company that developed a floor planning scanning app for iPhone, Android, where you could just go around the house, scan it, and then it makes this floor plan, but you upload it overseas to them, and then they download it, and within 24, 48 hours, they send it back to you with this whole floor plan together. But the problem is using the LiDAR technology and a lot of the stuff is that it's not always 100% accurate. With Fannie wanting these for desktops, they're not requiring, ANSI standards to them. Like as far as, we have to use ANSI standards now with conventional FHA, VA, all that stuff. So they're not requiring ANSI for desktops. But again, they're utilizing this technology, the desktop hybrid, sending out, real estate agents and Uber drivers and whoever else they can get to go out and scan these homes and the property data collection people, and then send that information back to the appraiser. And then you're doing your appraisal based off that, which I think is pure junk, but that's just me and a lot of appraisers out there. But, the problem with it, again, it's just that the accuracy is just not there. And there's other companies out there that have developed their own as well that are leaps and bounds better than Matterport and some of the other ones that are out there already. But again, they're just not as accurate as an appraiser going out there with a laser and getting it to, a tenth of a foot or sketching it out.
Or an architect actually drawing the plans. They're not nearly that accurate either.
I mean, funny you say that because I have a client of mine here in Atlanta that's it's an architectural firm that does a lot of home remodeling, and they hired me to expedite their process instead of sending out their own people. And I go out and measure homes to give them the whole layout. I measure interior walls, I put windows, give window sizes, doors. I mean, it takes some time to do it with a laser, but it's more accurate than using this actual app that goes around and scans it and doesn't really give you the thickness of the walls. It doesn't take into account a lot of different things on there. And they actually tried using some of these other technologies, and they just were not happy with it at all. So, I mean,
so do you think that the appraiser community would be able to take this Zillow floor plan for what you need?
I mean, as far as desktops go, where they're having a third party go out and do it, I mean, again, there's no standards. Fannie is so messed up, Fannie and Freddie. They require you to use ANSI standards and want much more pinpoint accuracy on your sketches when you're doing it for a conventional FHA loan. But yet for these desktops, they're like, no, we'll utilize this technology. We don't really require ANSI standards. So just do the best. We'll send somebody out there and just scan this out and get the closest that we can. I mean, some of them are good and it speeds up the process. Yes, I've seen a lot of appraisers say they've done really big homes in about 25, 30 minutes. But again, I like accuracy. I want to be as accurate as possible. I'm not just going to throw something together and just say, hey, look, here's a floor plan of your house. And here's.
Where'd he go?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, you're in the Matrix, Scap. We lost you.
Am I back yet?
Yeah, you are a little bit.
Oh. I'm just saying that, trying to be as accurate as possible is something I like. So I just don't like these.
Ooh.
I mean, I guess for certain things they could be good. I guess I'm just trying to get a general idea of what the house looks like and not go for really accurate square footage and break it down. Yeah, it could be useful. But again, this whole court case thing going on still.
Yeah.
I'll post that link to the Peter Christensen attorney article. And you guys can kind of get a different view of it from his eye because he's been following it really closely.
Jill has a comment in the Clubhouse chat too. She said her name's Jill Flackney. Did I say that right? Flackney.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'd say. Flackney.
She said you cannot create something that is, quote, too close to the original, but usually it is an issue if you try to sell the floor plan and use it for financial gain or claim it as your own. Not sure how that counts for listing your house. That's a good point, because you are trying to use it for financial gain whenever you list your home. That's the specific case that people are in trouble for. They listed their home and with a floor plan, and the architect said, nope, can't use that floor plan when you list your home.
Yeah. Now,
and we were like, well, don't you own
architect?
It? Yeah. Don't you own it whenever you bought the house? Don't you also own the floor plan? And apparently not.
Someone early on, I forget who it was, when we were covering the headlines, said it's like music. You can buy the song, but not the rights to the song.
Yeah, you own you can own the song and play it whenever you want.
Right.
But you can't recreate that song.
Right.
Right. You can't play those notes and then publish it again. So wouldn't that be the same for creating the floor plan from the existing home? It'll be interesting. I think architects, the average consumer that's thinking about building a house, if they have access to all the floor plans on Zillow in their entire neighborhood, do you not think that they're going to look at those floor plans and use those to create what they want?
Ooh, I like that one. They did cool stuff there. I'm going to duplicate what they did. And now that like architect is out,
or a builder's plan.
Right. He's out a bunch of money because they would have been contacted to recreate that floor plan for them. Right.
Dusty Martin says, so wouldn't Z be using that for financial gain?
Yeah, absolutely.
Not, then what? Well, so you could also say people that upload movies to YouTube, you should hold YouTube liable, right? YouTube has the tool and the service that allows people to have videos online, but should they be responsible if somebody uploads a copywritten movie?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think the uploader should. Well, should Zillow be responsible for someone uploading a copywritten floor plan? No.
But this is saying they're going to generate with. But this is saying Zillow's going to generate it with their AI, like Matterport.
But you can generate a floor plan on a house that's not copywritten. So you got to know. I don't know. It's an interesting discussion. I think it, guys, litigious society, some architect somewhere is going, like the first time a celebrity lists their house,
it's going to happen.
It's like, we're going to use a Zillow tool and put your whole floor plan on there.
Right.
That architect's going to have a coronary. Like, nope.
100%.
So that's going to be there. Expect the court case. Jack says, Lost in Space for about Danger Will Robinson. Are most people putting floor plans on their listings anyway? No, they're not. I haven't seen floor plans on listings. Have you?
I do a lot in LA. Yeah.
We don't. Standard. In this market, there's no one that puts a floor plan on their listing.
It's because they're all copywritten.
We've started putting room sizes on there though. We've gone back to that. I have, because I got this laser thing. It's like super easy. Dusty says, but Z is the one seeking the financial gain. Well, you could argue that the consumer is, because the agent is. Or the agent is, because they're marketing the property in order to sell it so they can make commission off of it.
But I don't say, if I'm selling through Zillow, right? I say, and Zillow offers this cool thing. If you want it, we can do that. If you don't, I don't really care either way. But what about on the Matterport ones where like just a normal agent like me says, yeah, no, put it up to the 3D floor plan. Is that, am I, sitting in a skillet waiting to fry? Is that a saying? I just made that up.
Jake says Matterport floor plans are as common as photos. Yeah, they're not here. I don't think it's in all markets. I think some markets where those companies have made gain and have convinced the people there to use them. I think that's where I use Matterport, but also don't publish the floor plan. I use Matterport and not the floor plan.
In LA, it's really common to, when you flip a house, you add square footage. So you do a new floor plan. So I'm curious on those. Did they get that permission from the
or if they've changed
architect? Yeah, they've added square footage, or they've just rearranged walls and stuff. Do they generate their own, or do they get that from an actual architect? I'm curious to know that. But yeah, LA, you see it a lot. Los Angeles, not Lower Arkansas.
Interesting. Teresa says, yo, not a pastor. Teresa Pastor entering the chat. You're a little late today, but that's okay. We were just about to get off.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, it's never too late to have Teresa.
Ray, where can they find you?
You can find me at Ray Zorback on Instagram, RayZorback. Please join us there. You never know what you're going to find, but you will find cake season. Dan, where can they find you, my friend?
Right down here, DLudwigRocks, DLUDWIGROCKS. That's on Instagram. Yeah, I post a lot of different stuff, softball content, just me being stupid content, real estate content. But yeah, lots of that stuff. So go follow me on the Instas. Nowhere else. Do not follow me anywhere else. But where you should follow us, you should go like and subscribe right now on YouTube. Thank you so much for everyone that's done that in the last week. Our subscriber count has gone up in the last week. So thank you to everyone who's done that. Please go and share, and please go do that. Please.
There's some fun stuff that you can do on these different platforms as you get to certain levels of viewership and subscribership and stuff like that. So subscribe to the live channel. We're also going to have the Chops channel, so you can look for that to be launched. Hopefully sometime this week. It'll be after these episodes are cut up as well. So probably towards the end of the week, and you'll find all that stuff on our Instagrams. We'll link everything from there. So thank you guys for joining us. It's been a rousing discussion. We went way over today, but I appreciate it. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Thanks for hanging out, peeps.
Bye.